All right, welcome everybody to another video here with Umber Rays. Gonna be probably a short video, at least that's the intention. We'll see if I get there. So yesterday we talked about new Jaden, we talked about essentially the commander thing, and this video, I'm not gonna lay down too much opinions on the whole commander thing quite yet, because you know what? It's one more day till we see his kit. It's one more day till we have a better idea of what exactly is going on with this commander nonsense malarkey. So you might as well just wait it out. That's my impression. Although I am seeing some people already a little bit annoyed, a little bit hopeful. I guess we'll see what happens. We do have, looks like Grand Arena, the real thing, starting on the 20th of November for JP. That's pretty interesting because earlier this month, it was a beta, and now that beta is gone and done, and it looks like Jaden and the FF10-2 stuff, also Payne, who is apparently not 10-2, okay, that's a mistake, are going to be the big bonus units. Nothing really too surprising there. I think that's all generally pretty fine and to be expected. Grand Arena, to me, last time was incredible nonsense. It had unlimited refills for the beta for people to just play it to their heart's content. Now we're into the real thing, and we'll see how it goes. But we'll talk more about that in a second. Now, as for the banners, this is one of the things I wanted to touch on specifically in this video, is to do with just, are there any special banners, considering that Jaden is going to be the first of the new super command units? And the answer is no, of course not. Why would you think that? I mean, just because Umbra said something in his last video, it's basically all the same schnaras that we've seen previously. Jaden looks just like a regular 100 cost unit from the banners. That's not what I'm talking about today. I am going to talk about this. This is a 5th anniversary, one time only 10 pull banner with a select a unit off of it. Now the reason I say this is because this could show up on global this week, and interestingly from a JP perspective, it includes everything up to Nicole and Jaden being the only two excluded units. Sorry, I may have said that a little bit weird because I was going to talk about the basically anything before Nicole is included on the JP banner. And I think this is important to recognize because just like the Nicole banner was for JP, a really, really strong deal, I will highlight things that I think are generally pretty good. And this to me is still really, really good. Now the 3 selector unit banner gave a ton of people really strong units like Shrek, Gilgamesh, the likes, but it didn't include some of the most recent characters such as Sadali, Exia, or Garuza. From a JP player who is very cynical about and critical about the game's lifespan and whatnot, this is probably going to be your best thing until the 0.5 anniversary. You're really not going to see another selector for a good long time. And as such, if you're remotely interested, if you're remotely okay with dropping a little bit of money, because you know what, there are still people working on this game, they are still providing artwork and content and all of that, and a mostly functioning game. So gotta be fair and say when I think this is generally a good deal, and this is one of the good deals, because choosing a character of your choice, getting them at 120 right away up to speed, is always at the very least pretty tempting. Like for me, I would be lying if I wasn't saying, oh, Exia, that seems kind of cool. So shout outs to that. I would expect that the following week, there's probably going to be a VC selector. I have no evidence to say that, just expectations. So yeah, it is 2K paid Lapis, but you know, there you go. All right. Next up, Jaden will be purchasable. I am a little bit curious about this. I don't think the deal is essentially the same thing, but given this is a commander unit, I am curious to see whether the pricing stays the same whether it'll be slightly higher or slightly lower. So I'll be keeping an eye on that and talking about that in our review video. Also, while I have your attention, the review video for Jaden will probably be actually it will just be later tomorrow. It won't be directly after the maintenance. So please be patient while I try and get that out. Real life stuff. And yeah, we got some tickets to try and get this new version of Jaden for free to players. That's always nice. It doesn't look like anything too bonusy, but we'll see. And now the thing that we need to talk about, which is Riku. Now, in my previous video, I showed that I happened to just kind of luck out and get her, and now have a problem of do I keep going with Yuna? Do I switch over and go with Riku? It's a question that has vexed me for the last, I don't know, couple of days, however long it's been. Yuna is much, much closer, but here's the thing. Riku is freaking everywhere on JP, and I'm not mincing words on saying this. Riku is essentially everywhere, all up and down the meta, being shoved into every single possible team that you can potentially be. To put it in terms people will 100% understand, she's this collaboration's AC Sephiroth. That's right, it's Sephiroth. She has effectively changed a lot of stuff that is going on. Both her and Ashen Mont actually make pretty good combo evasion damage characters against a lot of teams out there, and even Elemental Advantage. If you haven't really properly built a team, it's more of a problem than I thought it was going to be. And this is one of the things of just looking at a character beforehand and saying, it'll probably be okay, and then finding out later that no, it's actually way worse than we thought it was going to be. Yeah, Riku has become the ipso facto just everywhere JP character. She is in a lot of different teams. She is finding ways of just being a real pain in the ass. I was talking with one of the members of my guild recently, just being like, when I was talking about how good Riku was turning out to be and how many teams she was starting to be popping in with, even Yuna, which is crazy. Like, Ashen Mont and Riku just go up to the front lines. They're evasion characters, so they can't get hit super well. Very unlikely that they get hit, can deal a bunch of damage. And oh yeah, Yuna buffed them and is way back behind them, firing off pot shots on the enemy. It's crazy the amount of combos that Riku seems good with. So yeah, for people who are super interested in keeping up with what's been going on, it does seem like the Riku virus has set in here on JP and has infected, I would say, top 500 is at least 50% penetration of Riku, with probably the higher team, like if we were top 200, maybe even being 90% or higher penetration on Riku. Not even just a bonus unit thing, it's just she's that everywhere sort of thing. And I know that this might be annoying for some people, me saying theoretically 90%, because I don't actually have the data statistics. But here's the thing, dear viewer, that I will end this video on. Really hard to get the frickin' data when you keep dying to Riku teams all the time. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. See you tomorrow for Jaden previews.